Brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
A minute 35 to go in the game. Chiefs lead 32-29. Long count. Chiefs are going to throw it. They throw it in the left flat. Caught. It's Samaje Perine at the 30. First down. And up the left sideline. And the Kansas City Chiefs are going to pull this off.
And I'll tell you what, man, there's nothing better than playing in front of Arrowhead for an AFC championship, man. They had that thing rocking, and more than ever. And we needed them more than ever, man. That Buffalo team was as good as we've ever played.
It's not fun. But to beat the champs, you gotta to beat the champs, you gotta beat the champs, and we didn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if that part's sunk in yet, because we're just happy to get the Lamar Hunt Trophy, especially for, Clark, the Hunt family, here in Arrowhead with all these great people. But I think I'll just worry about that right now. I'll worry about the other thing later.
Hurts, quarterback draw. He's at the 5. He is in for the touchdown. Jalen Hurts. I guess his leg's all right. This is a well-executed play.
Yeah, I don't know if that part's sunk in yet, because we're just happy to get the Lamar.
We call a fixed play for Mason coming off the 3 screens. And he comes off the screens and hits about 5 feet behind the arc, and it's a 3-point game. Such a big shot. And then a dead ball on the other end of the floor, and we call another set for Mason to come off of the double stagger screen at the top of the key, and he hits another 3.
And it feels good. We put a lot into this, and just happy for the guys, and not just the guys that play, but the guys probably sitting at home, some of our JV freshman guys, our managers, everybody that's involved. We got a good group.
We scored 98 points. It doesn't seem like we were offensively doing very well, which we weren't. But it was all, mainly it was our defense. I thought our guys were scrambling around, getting deflections and things.
And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in. It is the Monday Sports Day show, the first day of high school basketball season. Steve Webster with you, along with Mike Corson. Looky who's here today. Mike Hesher, back showing the lovely Becca the ropes on the video stream today.
Thought I was lovely, and I thought I watched high school basketball Friday. 4 games.
That's not the season.
Yeah.
The season, the tournament week's over. All that stuff's out of the way.
Tuesday, Friday.
The grind is here. And then we get the postseason, and then all of a sudden it's over with. And then the songbirds come back in your backyard.
It is February. We know what next month is. Madness.
It's just around the corner. On the program today, we'll have Great Bend Tribune sports editor Jim Mazunas will be in. I want to see if you got a picture of Ian Premer's last dunk of the game on Saturday. Jacob Hall got it, threw it ahead. Everybody in the arena rises, and then I think Ian, I've got to ask, I didn't get a chance to ask him after the game. I think he was going to go jump up in the air with his right hand and then put it underneath his leg while in midair and then dunk it, but it got stuck and he came down and eventually almost fell down and threw it back. That was the only thing that went wrong the whole weekend for the Great Bend Panthers.
So none of the kids will get this reference, but he almost went Teen Wolf. And I heard the chat with Coach Cree after the game. It was funny, where they got to talk to him about stuff like that, and he was really close to the 3-day record, but those 2 points probably cost him a spot.
Yeah, a spot. Yeah, everyone's waiting for the dunk to go down. Okay, so Jim will be in here. We'll talk Barton wrestling with Nathan Brockman and Barton women's coach Alan Clark. They got a big win against Garden City, avenged an earlier season loss. They've won 4 out of 6 and playing pretty good basketball right now. So let's get to our sounds the past 24 hours or so. And we'll begin with a call yesterday on B1043 The Point. Samaje Perine, a 17-yard pass that clinched the game for the Chiefs. Kansas City beats Buffalo 32-29 in the AFC Championship game. They advance to New Orleans for Super Bowl 59 to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick Mahomes, 3 touchdowns. Kansas City defense made big stops, 2 big 4th-down stops. And Travis Kelce and company. You heard him talking about trying to become the first team ever to hoist 3 straight Lombardi trophies.
When you said you had Kansas City sound, I thought it was going to be The runner failed to get the line to gain. Turnover on downs. Yes, it was a catch. The ball didn't touch the ground.
Oh, are we going to jump on that narrative? The dumbest play ever that I've ever seen that people would argue about. Because, okay, have you ever seen that before where they run a play and then give the team the challenge? They said, we didn't see the flag. Well, okay. And then that play screwed Buffalo because the Chiefs lost 2 yards on that play. And instead, when the replay was overturned, which you knew it was going to be, or it wasn't overturned, which you knew it wouldn't be, the Chiefs got that play over again. And there was a 15-yard penalty on that anyway. So had it been ruled an interception, incompletion, it doesn't matter. They'd moved the ball 15 yards closer. Don't start.
They had to run a replay to see that the coach dropped the flag in time.
Is that reviewable? The review flag is reviewable.
In the playoffs,
I've never seen that. I've never seen that before.
No, anyway, just talking, Allen had a chance to drive down the field, be the hero. It's going to be his time to shine. Just shows you that we've been spoiled watching Patrick Mahomes do it over and over and over again. He's still the only guy in the league that's almost guaranteed to do it.
And I feel for Buffalo. Had the Chiefs lost, I'd be rooting for the Bills against the Eagles to finally win that. And, Josh Allen, man, he's done everything he can. I mean, if you put down 40 seconds of his career, he might be the guy that's going to all these Super Bowls right now. Just what's happened against the Chiefs. 13 seconds left. He delivers the team. They're ahead of the Chiefs and 13 seconds left of the game. And they lost that one.
Yeah, and you see this in other sports all the time. Like, you'll get a superstar wrestler that you just happen to come up in his 4-year tenure. So maybe you get second 4 times. You might have been a 4-time state champion if you had just been born 4 years earlier or later. Seen it in track and field all the time. You'll see it with teams. So it is. It's like, I think the Bills are really good. Josh Allen's awesome.
How many championships will the Central Plains boys have right now if Dean Wade and St. John wasn't playing down the road in the same league as them? Steve Spagnuolo, I could see him. He goes to work for these games. I mean, he's already down in his laboratory. He's got these bubbling, what are those little flasks, and he's got things going on. There's smoke coming out of them, and he's devising some other madman blitz to come up with. Boy, he brought one at the end of the game, and it was a pass that was almost caught, although the pass was coming straight down from the sky, so it wasn't an easy catch by any means.
And it just tells you what sports is. I mean, if you're a bettor, you would know that sometimes these games hinge on this thing.
If you're a bettor.
It was a brilliant play if you're a Kansas City fan because the guy didn't catch the ball. But he did get the pass off, and it did hit the guy in the arms. It just makes you wonder, what would the conversation be today if he catches that, something happens, and, man, why'd you roll the dice and send the whole house to get the quarterback? But it's
because you can sit back and let him just throw one across the middle because he's got all day to do it. I love it. If you can't put enough pressure on with 5 or 6, you send one more.
It was a gamble because you do have a top tier quarterback, and if you'd had half a second more, so it was an all or nothing blitz.
Chiefs on to New Orleans. They'll take on the Eagles. The call on WIP in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts scores 9 yards out, gave the Eagles a 34-15 lead, and the Eagles win 55-23. The same people who were picking the Washington Commanders were the same people who were picking the Buffalo Bills.
The hot takers?
The hot takers.
I saw somebody post a diehard Chiefs fan during the game. He put, tackle the running back. I was like, uh-oh. He wasn't even talking about Philadelphia yet. The first play from scrimmage? Saquon goes 60-plus?
Stop him. I think he had a good chance to win. But
that's
he can. I mean, just if he gets 7 yards, he gets 7 yards. Don't give up 60. I mean, he's a big play running back. That there are very few of those in the league. So it will be the Chiefs and Philadelphia. Had you ever seen that play before, where Washington kept jumping off sides and then the official said, if they do that again, we will award a touchdown. I did. Now, there's a rule in high school football, you can make it a mockery of the game.
Well, that you can
throw a penalty. Say if it's the quarterback goes back and
starts prancing around.
Well, or just he fakes a pass or walks away from the line of scrimmage and to deceive the opponent. Yeah, or Larned did this one time. They threw it. They threw it. It was the end of the game, and they acted like they were going to go down and to a knee, and then the guy raised up and. After they said they were going to go to the knee. No, that got called.
So I think it was Steratore, which you had him audio last week explaining the official thing, and then you saw, because he called that when he said they could do this, and then the guy comes on TV and says it. But in the Chiefs game, some people say, well, these guys are saying the officials are blowing him. They're for the Bills. No, Steratore thought he got the line by a third of a football, that's a legit opinion. Whether you're a Chiefs fan or a Bills fan, so I like the fact that I think
how could he tell? The only thing you could tell was Allen's shoulder, but the ball was in the right hand. He had one official on one side that had the first down, the one that
right. So yeah, but it was a 50-50, but I like that Steratore. He'll sometimes throw the officials under the bus, sometimes he throws and he knows the rules. So he's built credibility with me. So
okay, that's
I'd never heard of that rule. And then he says, well, they could just let him have a touchdown. And then like the next play, the guy says, I have warned Washington that they.
We will award a touchdown if they do it again.
Who gets the stat?
It's
like an own goal in basketball or soccer. It's like the last person who touched it.
Well, don't you give it to the center? Doesn't he get the touchdown then?
He might well.
Chiefs, okay, 2 weeks to talk about the Super Bowl coming up. All right, Kyle Cree talking about his team. We got a pretty good group. Yeah, they do. 3 straight wins in the Salina Invitational Tournament. Andover had been on a roll. They had won 8 straight games by an average margin of just under 30 points a game. And they beat Salina South the night before by 52. They've got a kid, Josh Kim, 6'3" guard, can dunk, can shoot the 3-point shot, but the Panthers just switched everything into man-to-man. They didn't play much 1-3-1 at all. They used a 2-3 zone, and even without Cooper Omot, they win the tournament. Ian Premer, MVP, 28, 28, 29 in his 3 victories. Could have had 31, but I'll ask Jim about that.
Did you say was there Andover? Were they missing a kid?
They were, and
So
6'2", 6'2" kid, averaged about 9 points a game.
But you start to look at these margins. There's the Andover, they're flooring people, and then you beat them. You look at that Hutch score where they had beat a ranked team, and then you floored them. Start scratching your head. How good are they?
How good are they? Well, tomorrow they'll be in Hayes to take on the TMP Monarchs, and then Friday night, the elusive Western Athletic Conference basketball title. You wouldn't think, okay, there's only 5 teams in there. You ought to get one sometime, but it's been a while since the Panthers have won it. Last year they tripped up at Garden City, and because of that, didn't get a share of the WAC title. So Hayes High in town on Friday. They go to Hayes tomorrow night. Taco shop, here we come.
And I would say, as well as Great Bend has been packing the house, Hayes always brings a crowd. Friday night is going to be probably something like we haven't seen in quite a few years. And it's been pretty decent, but I think it'll be exceptional.
Okay, so the Panthers win it. The Lady Panthers, they scored 12 points against Salina South on Thursday night. That dropped their average to just over 30 points a game. Then they came back 47-40. They scored 40 against Abilene but lost. And then against Junction City, they scored the first 18 points of the game, and they do win 7th place. The Lady Panthers in their 6-game losing streak and are 4-8 on the season. Kyle Haxton talking about the final few minutes of the Hoisington-Pratt game. Designed 2 plays for Mason Martin. He knocked down 2 3-pointers, and the Cardinals rally. They get a win 43-42. The Lady Cardinals came up short in the 5th place game. They fell to La Crosse 48-26. Minneapolis beat Ellenwood in the girls' championship game 44-39.
Yeah, Friday semifinal action. Ren Gala comes out, scores the first 8 points, couple threes. Mason Martin warmed up. I tell you, when Mason is on, that basket has to look awfully big. The Ellenwood girls taking down Pratt team on Friday in the semifinal, so that's a young 2A team beating at least a decent Class 4A school. But it was interesting. You had all those Pratt shooters. All of a sudden, you had a 2-point game, and they're just chucking up threes. None of them could hit.
So you can see all the results at GreatBendPost.com. Maxville boys win the boys championship down at the Midwinter Classic. They beat Central Plains 48-42. They lost to Central Plains 53-50 in Claflin earlier this year. And Little River winning the girls championship 67-53 over Inman. Little River's pretty good. That's my take. You like that?
You don't get a hot take on that one. They're number one.
Okay, I don't get a hot take on that one. Okay, and then let's see. I didn't even get to this one. Oh, Jeremy Combs, 98-85. They beat Garden City, and I guess if you're going to end a game on a good note, what'd they do? 19-2 run to close it out after Garden City had rallied to tie the game late, and the Cougars win. On Saturday, the women also won, and Alan Clark will be in to talk about that on the program today. So, and Curtis Hammocky stepping down, resigning as athletic director at Fort Hays State University. What a good run he's had. Been there for 21 years. Before that, Tom Spicer was there for like 15. I mean, you see a lot of things that have happened to athletic facilities and things like that. Yeah, Curtis, congratulations on a great career, not only as a player but as a coach. Took the Fort Hays Tigers to the NCAA Division II regional several times. So, and he used to bring me hot dogs when I was the voice of the Cougars back in 1987. He was a sports information director and assistant baseball coach for Mike Warren.
As a student, I always wanted to see Gross Memorial filled up. Never even close. And then I think they went, maybe I got up to number one the year after I graduated thereabouts. Kearney came to town. Curtis helped us get some tickets right behind the bench, and it was a sellout crowd, and it was glorious. I said, wouldn't everybody in this gym today think, this was so much fun, we should all do this again and sell it out every time?
What year was that?
If it was right after graduation, it would have been about 04.
Okay.
But it could have been a couple of years.
I saw that thing full a few times. I was able to see it full a few times. Yeah, it's a good environment.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's just a different sound when it's all, sounds come from everywhere.
Are you excited to start a basketball season now?
Yeah, I covered 4 games on Friday. So regular basketball season will mean usually covering 2 a week. A little different.
All right, here we go. It starts tomorrow. You going to Hays? Taco shop?
No.
Okay, all right.
I will be at Great Bend for Hays.
Okay, I'll bring some back for you. It travels well.
It does. I'll eat it cold.
Yeah, okay, all right. I know where you live now.
Tostada.
Except you got those raccoons and those stray cats all around your house.
They'll eat it too. Just
all right. All right, let's see. There you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. And coming up next, we will talk to Jim Mazunas, Great Bend Tribune. He's in on Sports Day.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
C&E Doors, this is Cindy.
Me, Ma! I passed my math test!
Great job, Hadley. I knew counting all those parts in our huge inventory would help out.
Don't forget about the springs.
That's right. We have the most in-stock springs of anyone in western Kansas.
Well, I don't know if our inventory is making me smarter or just giving me a headache.
Garage doors, service, and repairs at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hays.
Barton Community College's natural gas program gives you the skills and training you need to succeed. Current student Easton chose Barton to get him ready for the field.
I chose natural gas because I saw all the different type of hands-on work that they do. The technology is top-notch. Instructors are very knowledgeable of everything. Anybody interested in a career in natural gas, I really encourage them to come here to Barton. My name is Easton Juneau, and I'm a Barton Cougar.
Learn more at naturalgas.bartonccc.edu.
He's He's passionate about his high school sports and his trendy sports apparel. Sports Day presents the Great Bend Tribune's Jim Masunas.
Indeed. Sports Day today brought to you by American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, featuring number 2 Clear Diesel, Bulk Fuel, E10, fuel delivery, all your lubricants and fuel supplies. Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish, and continued support. They have you covered. And Equity Bank, where they add value for their customers and communities. Find out more. Go to equitybank.com. Jim Masunas in with us today, looking very spry. I assume those were your photos yesterday from Arrowhead Stadium.
They weren't. They were my son Jordan decided to go to the game.
Oh, you weren't there.
No.
Oh, well, come on. What you can't
not
send
the-
photos like that and
No,
take credit that you're at the game.
Well, I know, but I'd update the story today. So,
Okay.
So if you want to get an update from Jordan, I'll give you his number, and you might touch base with him this week. See how the things went.
What? It was good.
Yeah, it was very good. I think it was one of the most exciting Chiefs games I remember, because the quality of play by Buffalo was just amazing at times. The catches they made, the passes they made, the runs they made. It was an amazing game.
Okay, so jump on board here. You're a guy to attack officials. So officials screw the Bills?
No, not even close.
Okay, thank you.
And what I like is that it gets them ready for the tush push 2 next week. The Chiefs showed they could stop that play twice.
But if Josh, but I don't think Jalen Hurts goes left or right. He just follows the center straight ahead.
Yeah, there might be some.
Allen, they picked that up every time he was running that. He was going left.
Yeah, they picked up, which again, that's part of scouting and part of discussion on the sidelines. But yes, great job by the Chiefs to stop that, because you could run a variety of plays. And in a lot of cases, I'm okay with quarterback sneak, but I don't like that tush-push type thing. But
Isn't that aiding the runner? It is in high school. I know that's high school rules, but
yeah, the rules they change from time to time. So, but yeah, it's amazing that had Dee Ford not gone offside, guess who would be in the Super Bowl 6 of the last 7 years?
Yeah, I've heard people. That didn't come down to that one play.
No,
oh,
absolutely
yes, it
it
did.
did. The
He was
game's over.
offside, and they
The game's
intercepted the
over.
pass to win the game.
It's just like when Buffalo had an incomplete pass. The Chiefs still had to get 2 first downs probably to win the game, because they still had time left. They still had a timeout. So the Chiefs did what they needed to. And the best thing that Coach Reed did is he put the game back in Patrick Mahomes' hands. It's like, stop running the ball for 1 yard on first down. Stop running the ball for second down on 1 yard. Let Patrick Mahomes.
Buffalo would have had plenty of time left had they got
would
the
have
ball
plenty of
back.
time. But anyway, he went back to let Mahomes win the game, which is what you do. You let your best player win the game.
All right, Jim, you were at Salina, especially Saturday. Okay, was Ian trying to go between his legs to dunk that last one?
He sure.
You were zoomed in on your camera though.
Yeah, and then it's like, what happened? There should be a dunk here. But
I'm glad he didn't get hurt. But
no,
what a performance by Ian Premer.
Well, you know, the thing about and every team tries to do this. He's too quick for big, strong guys. He's too big and strong for smaller guys. He beats the double team. He slices the double team. He made 12 of 14 shots. They were hard shots, hard bank shots, over the defense.
Getting
hook
hacked.
shots. Getting
Beat on.
fouled. Oftentimes getting fouled, going through contact. The percentage of 12 of 14 is incredible. He should have shot like 50% because, he's getting heavy physical play. And so there's a lot of skill there, too. Amazing performance. And it was Great Bend's best game by far. They spread the court. They moved the ball. The ball didn't stick at all. And the defense started off a little bit shaky. They were letting them shoot 3-pointers here and there. But that high ball screen, when they come off, set the screen, and Kim shoots it. That's really, really
He's a
hard
good
to
player.
defend. And he's a really good player. However, he ends up 7 of 19. I'll take that any time, 7 of 19. And when Ben Nicholson swatted a shot, guess what Josh Kim does? Throws up 2 air balls next 2 shots. My favorite play, though, might have been when Ian Premer spiked a volleyball spike on Zeke McCaskill's shot. So McCaskill was trying to worm underneath Ian Premer, 5'11" guy. He's just trying to sort of a Dax Mitten style of defense. Just get on his nerves, get underneath his legs, try and back him out. And so Ian remembered that. He says, "Okay, you got your time. Here's my time. I'm going to swat this basketball into the fifth row." And you like that. You like that kind of tenacity and yet poise, because for a change, it was the other team that got a technical foul, because there's very few things to question, but Great Bend has gone away from shooting 10, 15 three-pointers.
They shot two.
Just a few, and that's excellent coaching, because they're not a great perimeter shooting team, and with Cooper Omont out, there goes their best three-point shooter potentially. So again, it's amazing when you get outscored 24-3 on three-pointers and get outscored anywhere from 15 to 20 points on threes, you still find a way to play old-style basketball, getting good quality shots, getting to the free throw line, getting three-point plays, and scoring in transition, which shows that there's still two ways to play the game of basketball, for sure, because I see way too many teams shooting way too many three-pointers.
They've gone away from that. Okay, let's talk about Kyle Cree, because, of course, he's got Ian Premer. I mean, it's easy, right? I thought he had his best coach game since that fourth quarter against Salina Central was huge. They changed defenses 3 times in that. Every time they did it, it threw Salina Central off just a little bit. And then on Saturday, we didn't even see the 1-3-1. They went man-to-man. They went to the 2-3, and they changed it up. They came out to start the second half, and they went to that 2-3 again. And Andover, it just changes things up enough that and all of a sudden other guys started jacking up shots that you want them to take. That was a case with Salina Central for sure. I thought it was a great tournament for Kyle Cree on the sidelines.
Central did exactly what Haven did, is they tried to control tempo, which is, I think, the only way to beat Great Bend. You got to control tempo. You got to control the ball. You got to be paid. But then Great Bend is going to switch up defenses. So you're going to have to, that's the thing against Haven, is they never really switched things up, and they got out coached and outplayed that. But Kyle is a terrific coach. One of my favorite coaches of all time, Shane Cordell. You know what Shane used to do? He used to run half-court trap, full-court trap, 1-3-1, 2-3, man-to-man. He switched it up all the time, and he had smart girls who could do it. That's what really good coaches do, is that, hey, we haven't done this yet. Let's see how this works. We're going to try this a possession or two. We're going to go 1-3-1 half-court. We crafty coaches do.
Because you get comfortable against something. You get, we beat it that way. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll do it then. Oh, now we got to do something else. And you just see kind of the wheels kind of just grind down and slow down just a little bit. That's what, especially in that Salina Central game.
The Central was just a coaching clinic, because Central was the better team. They were firing in three-pointers. There were 6 of 8 the first half, and just firing them down. And then eventually Great Bend adjusted, and then, really what you want to try and do is get them out of the rhythm, get them into a different mode, and that's exactly what Great Bend did. Terrific coaching.
Yeah, and that's a good tournament over there.
Oh, it's a fun tournament.
They do a great job running that thing. Of course,
getting the games rolling. Yeah, they did a nice job.
And anytime you have food in there, that's always helpful too. Did you get some on Saturday?
No, I was I was focused in on getting my game face on.
No, we got there early, man. It's just like a smorgasbord back there, so we kept coming back. So
yeah, it's nice to have that, because it gives you one less thing to worry about.
Okay, some other takes from tournament week over the weekend.
Yeah, tremendous job by Kyle Haxton and the Hoisington Cardinals. Mason Martin, hits a pair of threes and gets to the line, shoots a game-winning free throw. Ren Gala makes all-tournament team. Coach Haxton, when they played Pratt a week before, said, we're going to get those guys next week in the championship game, and we're going to beat them. And, that's that kind of persona and that kind of confidence. It carries over to the players. They say, oh, Coach just said, okay, we got part 1 and part 2 done. Hey, guys, we got to win this too. We're not going to make our coach look dumb. So,
and especially when you come back in the scenarios there, like it was at Pratt, when they kind of let it get away from them in the fourth quarter, and here came Pratt again.
Yep, and just did a tremendous job defensively, 43-42. Kyle likes those lower scoring games.
Yeah.
He's a ball possession kind of guy, and as long as they're getting quality shots. And Hoisington doesn't have a superstar, but they're very balanced. Jason Robinson is like one of the best defensive players I've ever seen. He's just tremendous. And then the rest of the guys just chip in their 5 to 10 points a game. So Hoisington is going to be a fun team to watch postseason to see where they end up being because what are they now? 6-6 maybe?
What are they, Hesh? 6 or 6?
Yeah.
6 and 6.
So they're right
now.
in the middle of stuff probably, but that's going to be a fun team. And, of course, they have some challenges ahead. Heston won their mid-season tournament, and Haven,
Yeah,
of
you
course,
get back
won
in
their
the
mid-season.
you get back in the
It's just a
CKL.
meat
I mean,
grinder. There's so many good teams that they'll get some challenges, but they've already shown they can play those quality teams. And they haven't beaten them all, but they've shown they certainly can compete. And if you got to compete, you got a shot to win, and that's what they did against Pratt. They
Yeah,
found a
hats
way
off
to
the
compete.
Ellenwood girls too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
they're
amazing.
getting second, but I
Yeah,
mean, they
yeah.
knocked off Pratt in the semis. I've seen that team play, and they worked on Great Bend pretty good.
Oh, yeah, and, Greg Maxwell has done a tremendous job. He loses his best player, Reese Stickney, who's out for the year, just like Denton Hilton lost Quade Smith for the year. And to reach the championship game and beat a 4A team like Pratt is a tremendous testament to how far Ellenwood girls have come. I mean, just tremendous effort. They got good balance, and they play really well. And then St. John nearly knocked off Maxville without Quade Smith. They ended up losing 56-53, but Maxville's got a quality team, and they have a great player in Diego Esparza. So,
And that's a good win for them. I mean,
it was a good win for Maxville there. I would personally rather much be a balanced team, but if you got a really good player, Coach Kuckelman's won a few state titles, so he knows what he's doing. I'm not going to question anything he's doing, but
okay, let's see. I've got Ian Premers now probably almost getting close to 26 points a game and 13 rebounds a game. I'm going to go ahead and give him up for, 3 guys that can maybe go 9-8. No, I'll probably keep the left-hander.
Yeah. Ian is just, I tell you, he's a force of nature because he's a really smart young man, but he's very determined, and he's got a high energy level. So there's only one way to challenge that is you got to try and match that, and it's really hard to do for 32 minutes because he's gonna find a way to get his double nearly every night. So it's going to be a fun week. It's Hayes week, and
plus you can go to see some of the top football coaches in the country, no matter where you're at. Okay,
you're standing next
to Miami,
Oregon coach Dan. That's just crazy.
Yeah, Miami and Vanderbilt were. Well, Miami was there on Friday night. Vanderbilt was making a visit as well.
The biggest home basketball game regular season since whenever. Friday night.
And I think Hayes has that persona right now that that doesn't matter. We'll come in there.
They've got what 5-6 losses, maybe.
They played pretty well.
Yeah,
they played well at the Orange and Black. Ran into an Olathe Northwest team that's really, really good. So, yeah, here we go. And they'll try to slow it down. Sean Dryling's a great coach. I'll see how he's going to defend them. Maybe he may hold something back for later in the year too. But I think it's important for Great Bend to get a piece of that WAC title this year.
Oh, no doubt. And how does that game change with a shot clock? That'll be interesting to see. Because we've seen how it's what was the exact same score, 45-42 in 2 straight games 1 year, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And so it's usually played in the 40s, but we'll see. We'll see what the
Wasn't that weird? That was like the last game of the regular season.
It was like Groundhog Day, yeah.
Yeah, and then in the same gym 1 week later,
the exact
same score.
About the same scenario.
And the same scenario, the same amount of people in there. It's just like, okay, we picked it up from this other spot. Okay. Jim Mizunas, where'd you get a Mays Athletics
Well, I had a nephew and a niece who graduated from
okay.
high school.
Mike Corson wanted to know where you got that. I said, yeah, Jim just hangs out. He's writing a story after games are over with, and he just sees stuff that people left in the stands. He just goes home with it.
Yeah, I lost my leather coat that way.
Oh,
so, yeah.
No one gave it back to you?
No, I never got it back.
All right. Jim, appreciate it. Jim Mizunas with us here on Sports Day today. We're going to talk Cougar wrestling with Nathan Brockelman. Alan Clark also coming in on the show today. Sports Day on KVGB, brought to you by the Barton Cougar Booster Club. Continue their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. By the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. And by the Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals.
If you're needing a health care plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free No obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back. Sports Day here on KVGB, continuing as we have our once-a-week visit with head coach Nathan Brockman of the Barton Cougar wrestling team. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well. I guess you could say an off weekend, but really I was just at a kids wrestling tournament. So
okay, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So that's how you take a weekend off, is by going to more wrestling, right?
Yeah. I go coach my own kids a little bit and get a pour into some of our youth too. That way, that are attending the tournament as well. So
where was that tournament at?
We were at the Salina Tournament Champions, so it was a pretty big kids tournament. We had 21 athletes compete, and overall our kids club did.
Where'd
pretty
they have
well.
that at?
At the Tony Events Pizza Center.
Oh, okay, all right, because it was really crowded in Salina Saturday.
Yeah, Salina was crazy.
Yes, it was.
I think there was a high school basketball tournament. I think there was like a youth basketball tournament and big kids wrestling. I think there's 1,600 athletes just for the wrestling tournament alone. So,
how do you run that thing?
They kind of do it in sessions. They have
Okay.
like morning session, afternoon session, kind of like we do our kids session. They had like 6 and under. I think it was 6, 10, and 14 and under was at like 8 a.m. And then the 2 p.m. we had the 8 and under, 12 and under, and girls division. So fortunately for me, my 3 kids all fell in the afternoon, so I didn't have to get up super early to get there. So
yeah, Great Bend girls played at 10 o'clock. I'd never left for a basketball game before in the dark.
Welcome to wrestling.
It happened on Saturday. So my pop was like this. He was a football coach, basketball coach, but he loved track and field. So one thing that he really got into, and I didn't, is putting on a track meet.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of the same way. With wrestling,
I enjoy hosting.
Yeah.
Different things come into hosting. A lot of times when I host our kids club tournament, we have like 700 little kids come into our tournament right before Christmas, and so I don't necessarily get to do a lot of coaching of our kids, which is the downfall. Same with when we host our Cougar Open. Sometimes it's hard to get in to coach all the matches because eventually when it gets bigger, I'll have someone come run the tournament instead of myself. But right now, to save some money, I just put the tournament on myself so that I can fix the little errors that need to be fixed, but still get to coach our guys.
So you have that ability, like Lyles. He'll look at a track meet and say, okay, well, I got points here. I got points over here. I'm going to put them. I'm going to put this here. You kind of get that same mentality in wrestling, too, especially like duels or at, different going into regionals or postseason wrestling at all?
Yeah, definitely. You definitely kind of can see what your guys are going to be able to score and which guys are going to be able to qualify based on previous matchups. But, you obviously never know, kind of like track and field. Some guy might pop a PR and some guys might pull up a big upset. Kind of the same way with duels. I usually kind of look at the matchups beforehand and kind of know, if we can pull like like back when we were dueled in the Neosho a couple of weeks ago, I knew we had to get a win at 57, 65, or 74 to win that duel, and we just didn't quite get it done. So you kind of have a good idea. You try not to put a lot of pressure on the athletes, especially the ones you hope that are going to get a fall, because those are 16 points. I'll tell them that, but some of the guys can't handle that either, so I just tell them to go get the win and then hope the fall takes care of itself. So.
How much can you move wrestlers around? I mean, if someone's at a lower weight, can you move them up to take on a heavier?
So, yeah, actually in college there's no minimum weight that you have to weigh. So,
okay.
I mean, technically, if I really wanted to, I could send my backup 125-pounder all the way up to 197 pounds if I wanted to. Now, there is a minimum weight for heavyweight. I think you have to weigh like 185 or something like that. But yeah, you could send whoever you want out there. It doesn't matter. As long as they're under the weight class, they can wrestle whatever weight class above them, which is kind of interesting. I learned that the hard way this year. So,
what happened?
Oh, well, when we dueled Colby back at the Atchison duels, that's what happened. We had a couple opens, and I just didn't have a backup at the weight below them, so I just kind of let them know, and they threw in their backup 25-pounder in at 57 and took a forfeit and bumped their 57-pounder up to 165, which we beat their 57-pounder 165, but if I had known that, I could have had someone ready to go take the mat against the backup 125-pounder, and then, then they did the same thing at 197, put a backup 133, and that one was actually kind of on the ref. We should have been able to throw someone out there, but the ref didn't let me, which was kind of interesting. But so we're kind of really looking forward to this Thursday when we head out to Colby. So
that we're going to be back. Do you have that same flexibility? I know Lars Luders did that last week in the dual match with Hayes High.
Yeah, you can. So you choose odd or even. And we normally try to take even just because I want choice at a couple of the weights is what I'm more concerned about. But so the even weights are like the second match, fourth match. So when you choose even, you get the choice between periods, first and second period, but you also have to report to the table first at that weight class.
Okay.
And so you just wait for them. If they're not paying attention, they might report before you anyways. But like on the odd matches, I would just wait to see who they send out, and I could send someone else out if I wanted to.
So everybody's got to be ready to go. You can't be over there just screwing around and saying, hey, you're out here now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So then I let my guys know if we switch that on. And I don't do a lot of switching around. I mean, I like to feel like we just need to wrestle them straight up to try to beat them. I don't like to try to finagle things. And not saying it's wrong, but I just have confidence in my guys. So.
Okay, last Thursday, taking on number 9 ranked Pratt, and it's – you go through a match like that, it's going to be really satisfying. Sometime, hopefully soon, you'll bring that trophy home. But, another kind of a learning experience last Thursday, I guess.
Yeah, it was a rough duel, but we battled. I mean, I told every single one of them we just can't go out there and lay down like some of the other schools did. If you look at the time frame of the duel, it lasted an hour and a half, and it's not like we have a bunch of pomp and circumstances as far as that goes. We just have a little introduction song, but realistically most of the guys are on the mat before the introduction song even starts, so we didn't really have a lot of pomp and circumstances like some of the duels do. And we time-wise it lasted an hour and a half. I think that was longer than when we dueled Cali and Neosho, and those were even closer duels. So it's not like we laid down, we got teched a lot or we got pinned late in the match, but we didn't just go out and
your guys battled.
Yeah, we didn't go out and get pinned in 30 seconds like some of the duels that they have had with some of the other school NJC or KJCC teams. So
talk about Skylar's match. I mean, that was interesting. 20-13.
Yeah, Skylar's match was exciting. I think we were down 14-2. They cut us. They were going to try to get a takedown to tech us and launched a beautiful headlock. I mean, I'm not a huge headlock proponent, but when it's there, you got to take it. And he took it and picked up 7 points, got him back in the match, and got another set of 4 back points, I believe, or 2, maybe 2, but going into the third period, so that was second period. Second period, it's 14-2 them. Going into the third period, it's 14-13 them. And we ended up cutting him to try to take him down. No, we took bottom, so that's what made it 14-13. And we just couldn't quite get the takedown at the end, and unfortunately kind of got turned to our back there right at the end as well. But, Skylar came back and battled, and it was an exciting match. It was kind of a momentum changer, though. I think that kind of affected a little bit at 149 with our matchup with Field and Mater, which was another good match, tight match. But it is exciting. Got the crowd going at least, and every once in a while it looked like we might have had him pinned when we threw him, but you know how that goes. Sometimes they just aren't in the right position to see it. And the ref did tell me he started doing a stall count after the kid kind of had rolled through, and we still had a headlock, and he started doing a stall count for what's called a side-by-side, which in college is a stall count, but not in high school. And it's kind of like a headlock, but you're on the same side as the head and arm, and we weren't on the same side. And after the drill, I said, why were you calling that a stall count? And he said, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have. And I said, well, we had to let go of the pinning combination because you were calling us for stalling, And so who knows what would have happened if he wouldn't have got the stall count finished. We wouldn't have had to let go, and maybe could have sucked him back down and pinned him, but we'll never know.
So you go to Colby coming up.
Yep.
Thursday.
Yep, go to Colby. We'll wrestle Labette again at 5:30. Colby and Labette we'll do at 4. We'll do it at 5:30, and then we'll, hopefully get a revenge match over Colby at 7. So not like we're ready to wrestle Labette too, but we've kind of had this January 30th on our calendar ever since second week in November. So
we'll go get you a win out there Thursday. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's what we're looking forward to, and I think our guys can do it. Our guys are pumped. They're ready to go, and just got to get our weight off and get ready to go.
What's after the Thursday duels?
So Thursday, we'll take some of the guys that, our varsity guys down to NEO again, to Miami, Oklahoma, to let them get some matches in because there's not a lot of exhibition matches in the duels. So we'll take them down for one last open on Saturday, and then we'll turn around and go to Goodland on Tuesday for our last set of conference duels, and then it'll be the district qualifier. So
wow, we're already there. All right, Nathan, thanks a bunch. Nathan Brockman, Barton Wrestling, here with us on Sports Day today. Show rolling on right after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs, it's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Step into the spotlight with Barton Community College's theater program. Whether you dream of performing on stage or creating magic behind the scenes, Barton offers hands-on training, expert guidance, and creative performance opportunities. With top-tier facilities and a supportive community, you'll develop the skills to shine. Turn your passion into a career and start your journey to the stage at Barton. Learn more at theater.bartonccc.edu.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today brought to you in part by the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend. Large or small, they take care of them all. Eller Automotive Repair, where they specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. And C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Steve Webster in with you. We're hoping to talk with Alan Clark today. Barton basketball, Lady Cougars picked up a good win over the weekend as they were able to avenge an earlier season loss to Garden City, as ended up winning the basketball game 64-41 at the Kirkman Center. So Barton's 4-2 since the holiday break. They are 5-9 in the conference, 9-11 overall, but when you get down to the bottom of the standings where they were, it's hard to move up, but they are getting into contention where hopefully they can continue to improve and maybe get a home court in the first round of the postseason tournament. We'll just have to wait and see. Garden City had handled the Lady Cougars pretty easily in the first meeting, so now they get Cloud County in a 5:30 tip Wednesday, and then they head to Cowley on Saturday. So see if the Lady Cougars can continue their good play. Look around the Jayhawk on Saturday on the women's side. Cowley upset Seward 59-52, so that helps a little bit. Coffeyville beating Colby 69-57, and Coffeyville now is 2 games out of first place. Butler rolled past Pratt. Hutchinson beat Fort Hays State Tech Northwest 114-39, and Dodge City had a difficult time but won in Concordia over Cloud County 77-69. So the Jayhawk women's standings, Dodge and Hutch 13-1. Then you have Coffeyville 11-3, Butler 9-4, Seward's 9-5, Cowley's 8-6, Cloud 7-7. So you see Barton's trying to climb up there. They're 5-9, trailing Colby right now is 6-8, but Garden City 6-8, Cloud 7-7. So it's all right there for the Lady Cougars if they can continue their solid play. Barton men closed with a big run to knock off Garden City 98-85. So the Cougars move past Hutchinson. They are now in fourth place in the Jayhawk standings, a half game behind Butler, who's 10-3. Cougars are 10-4. How about Hutchinson losing at home to Fort Hays Tech Northwest 75-61? That was a shocker on Saturday. Cowley beats Seward 69-43. So Cowley still in first place. They're 13-1, 18-2 overall. Then you have Coffeyville. They beat Colby 83-65. So it's Cowley 13-1, Coffeyville 12-2, Butler 10-3, and Barton 10-4. Now Hutchinson, who had been hot, but they've dropped 2 in a row thanks to Barton, who came in and ended their winning streak. So Barton a half game ahead of the Blue Dragons. Big week. Cougars at home against Cloud on Wednesday, and then going to Cowley to take on the Tigers. Last year, Cowley beat Barton in Great Bend, the only loss the Cougars had all season. But then, of course, Barton went down to Ark City and got the win over Cowley later on. So hopefully that'll be the case coming up on Saturday. But first, it's going to be Cloud County. Garden City has a new football coach, Joe Price, returning to Western Kansas, spent almost a decade as the head football coach at Plainville High School in Ardmore, Oklahoma. 9 seasons there, completed a record of 85-36, 2 appearances in the Oklahoma Class 3A state championship game. Price is a native of Garden City, played as a lineman for Holcomb, graduated from there in 1998, selected to play that summer in the Kansas Shrine Bowl. He's also a 2-time All-State selection, 3 times named to the Garden City Telegrams All-Area team. He's got quite the coaching resume. He's been around a little bit. Assistant coaching positions at East Central University in Oklahoma, Garden City Community College. He was a head coach at Liberal, 2009 to 2010. Offensive coordinator, Garden City. He was an assistant coach at Southwestern Heights High School in 2012, an assistant coach at Plainview in 2013 and 2014. And also in 2007 and 2008, he served as the head football coach at South Gray High School in Montezuma. His teams went 11-7. So Brian Hill out at Garden City. The new coach is Joe Price, who comes back in after he spent one kind of unsuccessful season down at Liberal. We're going to take another break. We'll be back in and have some final headlines for you on the Sports Day show here on Monday on KVG.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Get the power you need for your farm equipment. The power of peace of mind that dependable Cenex lubricants deliver. With decades of proven off-road performance backed by the industry-leading Cenex Total Protection Plan warranty. Cenex heavy-duty diesel engine oils, hydraulic fluids, gear lubricants, and greases are formulated to provide superior protection for load-bearing equipment. The power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Also, Equity Bank, again, when you're here when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Find out everything they do. Just go to equitybank.com. Kind of a bonus here today. Mike Hescher's in running a video stream because he's just a good guy and wants to help us out when Landon Winkler's not available. And he's trying to teach the lovely Becca how to do this as well. Good timing, Hesh. You knew Curtis Hammocky very well.
Well, I don't know about very well, but I had some classes with him.
Right.
I mean, we go back a long way.
30 years. I mean, okay, he spent 30 years, I guess 3 decades at Fort Hays State. I mean, that's where he started, went to school and everything. But you look at that Fort Hays athletic department, and I think you got to go back around 1988 when Tom Spicer took over that position. I think you said Tom Stromgren was 88.
Tom Stromgren was the one before that, and you asked me how long. I don't know. I don't think he was there very long.
Right, but okay, Spicer in 88, and then when he left, Curtis took over that position. So you look at everything that's happened. That's almost 36 years of continuity at Fort Hays State, and we always talk about Ed Hammond, the university president, changing the face of that university and what it looks like now between Tom Spicer and then Curtis Hammocky taking over and adding everything that he's done. My goodness, that campus doesn't look at anything the way it used to.
I agree. The only thing I will say is I wish they would change up their basketball rotation or whatever, because it's the same environment before a basketball game than it was probably when you were there. They haven't changed much as far as before the game. And now that's a critique that shouldn't.
Well, I'm talking about facilities.
It's amazing what they have going. Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, the chair backs down on the floor, everything, and you don't have to broadcast the games up from the.
You didn't like going up there?
Well, not with equipment, but I was a younger fella in those days. Now it'd kill me. But
that's like me trying to climb the stairs at the Memorial Stadium in Great Bend. Well, now you know why I got young people to help me.
Well, that's all right, though. If I had to do that, I would be asking Coach Beck and Coach Cree for that assistance as well. I know that you were real excited Saturday coming back from Salina. Got to hear you and Gene on the final call of that Pratt game, and old Kyle Haxton's got the Winter Jam magic again. Is he get more out of a team than anyone else?
I don't think so, no. His teams, I say this over and over, his teams take on his persona. I mean, they are as tough as nails. He's got 3 or 4 kids on there that would run through a wall for you. Camden Tarleton has taken at least 6 charges this year, and he tried to take 3 or 4 during the tournament, but they called him for blocks. And, I mean, he's only 5'7". He's just tough as nails. So, and then Jason Robinson, we talked about his defense. And, Mason Martin had a couple big 3-pointers. So, no, Kyle.
That were drawn up, and that were set plays.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
And Ren Gallas started the game with 8 points quickly to get him off to a good start.
Ren's had a nice season,
Yes,
too.
he has. But they were down by 6 at one point.
Yeah.
And came back. I thought it's down 6, it's over. Replica.
Same story,
Same thing the week before, exactly, but not this team.
All right, Hesh. We'll see you back here when you churn the wheels of commerce in the Golden Bell for Trading Post in the morning. The one and only Mike Hescher. He'll be in action tomorrow. Cardinals hosting Phillipsburg at the Activity Center. I'll be in Hayes for Great Bend and TMP. Talk to you tomorrow.